Vice President Kamala Harris finally addressed the American people in her concession speech. It was after her defeat by President-elect now Trump on Tuesday. And she did this yesterday. And while she did concede the election, listen to this. There was a word I kept hearing her say over and over and over again, and I want you to hear it too.
And joy in our fight for America's future. Fight, 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 fight. I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
Oh, you know, Emily, I was keeping a tally yesterday. I noticed fight, 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 fight. You just heard it there. Another line she used was, we do not owe loyalty to a president or party, but the Constitution of the United States. That is a factually true statement. But it comes in the context of a party saying that we would never vote again if Donald Trump won. We would lose all our civil rights if Donald Trump won. While there were parts of her speech, she said, we'll help with the transition. That was gracious. You could not miss the fight, 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 the dig at Donald Trump. It was not the Hillary Clinton concession speech that indeed was gracious, where Hillary Clinton said, I want Trump to succeed. Hillary said that.
Totally right. And I thought that the second layer to that is that it lacked any bit of specificity in terms of what is she talking about. I thought to myself as I was watching, and look, I'm not saying this to be harsh, but just to be honest, that it sort of smacked of a community college professor speech, maybe even high school rally speech. I was struck by the oversimplification, the total generalization, and the lack of actual substance. I noted to myself that even her behavior, where she would say a line and then erupt into a manic smile as if that would land her the 10.0 from the judges, I was sort of thinking to myself, what are you talking about? What exactly do you mean? Fight for what? Is it the voting restored to the hands of the people? Because that's exactly what just occurred. That's exactly what happened, which is voters owning that sacred right and reclaiming power for themselves instead of the bloat of an administrative state and an over-regulatory state and a corrupt government, all of the things. So I'm not quite sure what injustices or wrongs that she's trying to correct there. Fight for what? And why and how? And I just thought at the end, all it seemed, what I was left with was the feeling I had by the speech, which was one of total angst, rabble-rousing, and conciliatory was nowhere on that list.
Emily, I think you hit the key question, which was, what does that mean? Because I saw a tweet this morning. You guys remember Adam Kinzinger. He was on the January 6th committee. He's now a commentator. He used to be a congressman. Harris, I saw this tweet from him this morning. It was kind of cryptic. After last night, I've taken a long look and made a decision. I'm doubling down. We will protect democracy and never give up. Never. I'd love some footnotes on what any of this means. The American people just delivered a mandate. Trump won the popular vote for a Republican president for the first time in 20 years. Please give us details, Adam.
Hey, they hate him. I mean, I don't think it takes a lot. And it's sort of like when you've done everything you can, and people still hate you, they hate you more when you succeed because you didn't fall. I think it's pretty simple, sadly. I will say this, the fight, fight, fight is kind of like when Kamala Harris said, I'm going to erase taxes on tips too. She would sort of parrot along the way this election season, and it's been very short with her in it, obviously, things that he was trying to do, the talk about Social Security. He wanted to take taxes away from there. So suddenly on the platform, you start to hear surrogates and Kamala Harris a little bit, but mostly surrogates, talking about how Donald Trump's going to ruin security. Well, that didn't really come up until he started talking about not taxing it, and raising the age for security became the thing that they keyed in on, and not really understanding that the reason that they're hurting so much in the pocketbook and why they need a break in taxes on things that are so budget constricted as Social Security is because you've overtaxed the people with something called inflation, that extra tax. But the fight, fight, fight was a parrot. You walk into the room and the parrot hears you say, hey, babe, how you doing? Hey, babe, how you doing? So fight, fight, fight is his mantra. And we all know what he means by that. They've hit me. I'm bleeding. I'm getting up, and I'm going to fight for America. I'm going to fight what I've told you for what I've told you I believe in. I'm going to do it. I'm going to fight, fight, fight. And in that moment, you knew what it was about. The reason you don't know it for her is that she doesn't know what it means herself. She doesn't mean it.
Let me be the contrarian here. I have no problem with what Kamala Harris said. I mean, certainly in 2021, Donald Trump didn't give up the fight. Donald Trump was defeated, and he kept going. He fought for what he believed in. God bless him. I'm glad he did. Harris has that same right. Anytime a presidential candidate loses, there is nothing wrong with them saying, I still believe in who I am, I believe in what I fought for, and I won't give up the fight.
Do you know what she was fighting for?
Here's the difference. There have been two assassination attempts against former President Trump.
Being specific
there have been
about
two
issues.
assassination attempts.
She's already been vulnerable. And one of the reasons she lost was she had no specificity. She didn't have enough issues.
Right, so what's she fighting
but
for?
But structurally, she has the right to come out and say, don't give up the fight. Kinzinger can say the
She
same
does.
thing.
Leslie, hold on one moment, Leslie. I want to get you in here.
This is politics 101.
It's politics, I get that. But I appreciated Biden's words today. I really did. That must not have been easy, but he didn't use the word fight. In fact, he talked about lowering the temperature. I appreciated that as an American. Kamala Harris used fight. This is news right now. We have Gavin Newsom, who's called a special session. He wants to fight the Trump policies, and he's put out statements from several people in California, the Attorney General, who talks about fighting as it comes. The speaker there, I'm ready to fight harder than ever for the opportunity. There's no mistaking that this word seems to be an intentional choice.
Letitia
After
James?
2 assassination attempts. Yes.
I'm a Democrat, and I will fight as an American for what I believe is best for my children. I don't consider that the same way you do. We take the word differently. Women fought for the right to vote. Martin Luther King Jr., Reverend, fought for the right for every person of every color to be treated equally. There are so many people throughout history that fought. You know, and so I don't have a problem with the word.
Word
Advocate?
Just because of the word that has to do with meaning coming from Donald Trump right now. I just think they poll tested that word and they figured it worked for him.
Football coaches have said fight to their losing team.
So we don't know what they mean.
But he's the most recent famous
we don't know what Kamala means.
example of that.
We should not become word scolds. We should not say this word is off limits.
Oh, I think we did
saying
when one side called the other garbage. So I think this is fair to also look at this word.
That's a different measure.
You know what? I will let the viewer decide. A bullet grazed the ear of the president-elect. 2 assassination attempts. You get to choose. Should they use fight? Should they move on? I'll leave that with you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.